Hi, this is a tutorial on using Finale Notepad. I've just opened the program. Here's a cue for registration. We don't want to register, so we'll click the X here and get rid of that. Your first step is to enter the title. You should have already thought of a title for your piece. We'll just call this Practice. Okay, the composer, you'll put your name down here. Okay, the next thing I would like you to do is click on Landscape. And that'll cause that circle to become blue. Come down here. We're ready for the next step. Click Next. Okay, I would like to have a blank staff, which it's already highlighted in blue. So I'm going to need to click here again, blank staff. And now I'm able to add this. Okay, so we see it shows up over here. We are ready for the next step. Click Next. Okay, the only thing I want you to change on this page here is the number of measures. Your composition is 4 measures long. Enter a 4 and click Finish. Okay, now we have 4 blank measures of music. Let's talk a little bit about some of the tools up here. The very first thing I would like you to do is to save your piece. You're going to need to save periodically so that you don't lose any work. Come up to File, Save As. Okay. And then I'll tell you at a later time how to save your music. That's how you would save. I'm not going to save mine since it's just for practice. Now, periodically as you're making changes, you can just click here on Save, or you can go back up to File, and since you already have a name, you won't do Save As, you would just click Save. Save As is only when you're making a name for your file. Okay, here are some of the different tools that you're going to need. Let's look at this row here with the different note values. In your piece, you have quarter notes, eighth notes, and 16th notes. Then you won't need any of these other options until we come down here to the rest. You should have a quarter rest somewhere in your piece. Okay, well, it already has the 8th note highlighted, so I'm going to go ahead and start with one of those. I'm not going to worry right now about which note I'm entering, whether it's a B, an A, a G, or whatever. I'm just going to enter my rhythm first. Okay, to do that, I simply click on the staff. Let's start with some 8th notes. And I'm just making mine up as I go. You will be looking at your sheet that you've prepared. Okay, let's do another 8th note. Let's follow it by 2 16th notes. Here's my tiki. Okay, and this measure is now full. So I'll move on to the next measure. Again, okay, see, I made a mistake there. I accidentally entered a 32nd note. See how it has 3 flags hanging off of it? So I think the easiest way to get rid of it is to come up here and click Undo. There. So now let me get back on 16th note, which is what I really meant to do. I'll enter a couple of those. Now I want to do a quarter note. Okay, let's have a couple rests. A couple more 8th notes. Okay, and I'm just going to quickly fill in the rest with 8th notes. I wasn't very careful with how I was clicking, so the computer filled in the rest of the music with rest. All I need to do to get rid of those is just click on top of them what I want. Let's end on a quarter note. Okay, so like I said, we weren't real worried about which notes we were entering at first. Well, now we are. Let's come to this 8th note here. Okay, see how it's purple? I'm going to use the arrows on my keyboard to move up and down. Remember, your piece should start on a G. Okay, so it's on a G now. I'm going to use my right arrow to move to the right. I think I had this one as an A. Okay, so now I'm just going to go through using the arrows on the keyboard, moving my pitches where I want them, or where I had written them down when I was practicing in class. Okay, and I'll just leave a lot of these the same just to save time here. Remember, it needs to end on a G. Actually, let's undo that. Okay, let's say you've been working on this a little bit and you'd like to hear how it sounds. Well, first thing I'd like you to do, this 120 tells you how fast it's going to go. Let's turn that down to, let's say 80. That's slowing it down just a little bit. You can use this yellow play button to hear your recording. Okay, so now that I've heard it, I might want to go back and make some changes. Let's say I'm all done now. I want to be sure to save it again, have my classmate check it, then you'll have your teacher check it, and then you should be ready to print.